Ramon Taveras is a bantamweight in the UFC with a 10-2 record. He racked up a pair of 4-win streaks in the Florida-based promotion Combat Night before making his UFC debut on the Contender Series, where he lost his fight with Sergey Sidey in the first round, though the stoppage was clearly early. He would return to the Contender Series and got a first-round knockout in only 29 seconds in his next fight, and then rematched today at UFC 297 in a bloody and somewhat controversial affair in which he missed weight by 4 pounds, winning the fight via split decision. Most recently, he was scheduled to fight Kalen Loughran at UFC 304, but pulled out due to an unspecified injury. So why the hell am I talking about Ramon Taveras? Well, earlier this month, Ramon posted a very disheartening message to his social media, along with some video footage. In that footage, and according to his statement, it would appear that Taveras was nearly murdered last month when armed gunmen rolled up on him at his mother's home in Duval County. It's hard to see exactly what happened, as the incident was a good distance away from the Ring doorbell camera filming it, but you can certainly hear what happened in the footage he provided. So as I said, it's a little bit hard to see exactly what's going on, but to the best of my interpretation, this is what took place. Ramon exits the house and walks towards a car parked on the front lawn. He pops the car's trunk, and as he's opening the car's door, an SUV or possibly a minivan pulls up on the adjacent road. 1 or possibly 2 jump-out boys hop the vehicle and fire approximately 12 shots at Ramon. Luckily, the car on the lawn was between him and the bullets, so he ducks behind it and either retrieves a firearm from the vehicle or had one on him at the time, obviously for good reason. He returns fire as the shooters speed off. Even more disturbing in the clip is the fact that upon hearing the gunshots, members of his family are seen and heard responding to the commotion, and as such were present in the home when the incident took place, very nearly losing Ramon in grisly fashion. Good Lord. Also, as mentioned, Ramon posted a lengthy statement on the matter along with the video, which I'll read to you here. Ramon says, quote, "It's unfortunate that I even have to make a post like this, but I cannot let this be swept under the rug. Monday, July 29th, 2024, at 10:05 p.m., a group of armed men drove up on me at my mother's house and tried to take my life. By the grace of God, I made it out with no injuries and was able to grab my own firearm and return fire in self-defense. This city is unforgiving, and it's worse that JSO does nothing to correct the problem. I lost my brother in 2019 due to gun violence, and his killers are yet to be caught. Now I find myself in almost the same situation. JSO did the bare minimum for my brother and is now doing the same for me. They assumed I was targeted due to quote-unquote gang violence or a problem I caused. I don't bother anyone, I stay in my own lane, I focus on my career and family. Even after explaining this, they continued to insinuate that I was involved in something that brought this outcome upon myself. Nobody is perfect and everyone has a past. However, I have changed significantly from who I was 10 years ago. For such an incident to occur out of nowhere is alarming. It makes me view my life and family through an entirely different lens. This is a daily reality in my city. I am not the first, nor will I be the last. I am tired of remaining silent about my brother's case, and I refuse to let this incident slide either. Many other families in my city have endured similar situations, crying out for justice, just as my family is. My family feels unsafe, and I fear for my children, who nearly lost their father, the person striving to change their lives. It is tragic that I have so much love for my city, yet I am compelled to leave. I will use this situation to speak out against the ineffectiveness of JSO and their disregard for the less fortunate parts of the city. They seem indifferent to whether lives are lost or at risk. I am sick of it. This could have been a memorial post. I could have lost my life just like my brother, or somebody else could have lost theirs trying to take mine. I am done being silent. I ask for your support in spreading this message as far as we can. I am blessed and happy to be alive, but I am leaving Duval. End quote. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with the fact that Ramon is very much correct about the conditions of Duval County and the gun violence therein. As a Floridian myself, I am well aware of the dangers of the greater Jacksonville area, but it doesn't take being a Floridian for that to be the case. If Trap Lord Ross is making videos about the violence in the area, you know some shit is often going down there. As of 2020, Duval County ranks 4th in the state of Florida in terms of violent crimes. Obviously, Taveras is no stranger to the dangers of Duval, as he says he lost his own brother to gun violence only 5 years ago. JSO, or the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, apparently did little by way of solving that crime, which I'd suspect is not uncommon, considering the volume of crime that they're dealing with on a regular basis there. Ramon also says that the cops turned the blame back onto him for the drive-by incident that he endured. Though the circumstances were dramatically different, I can definitely say from first-hand experience that cops placing blame back onto the very victims they're supposed to be serving and protecting is absolutely a reality in the state of Florida. However, the only thing that sticks out to me about Ramon's statement is the opening of the last paragraph, which does beg a few questions. In that concluding paragraph, Ramon says that everyone has a past, and he's a changed man compared to who he was 10 years ago. Well, who was Ramon Taveras 10 years ago? From the interview footage that I've seen of Ramon, who's only 30 years old now, he seems like a very well-spoken, pleasant, and humble person who I have no reason to think or speak ill of, but drive-by shootings generally don't happen at complete random. Although sometimes they can. In that same interview footage, he says he's been through a lot in life, but what is the reality of that? I'm definitely not trying to echo the JSO and say that Taveras brought this incident upon himself, but there are a number of questions that need answering before a clear picture can be painted here. Without all of the facts, I'm going to be as respectful as possible and not pose any number of further questions that I might have about this incident or the shooting death of Ramon's brother, but without further detail, the storyline remains riddled with a number of glaring plot holes. One thing Ramon said that I can wholeheartedly agree with is no matter what the reasoning behind this incident was, the fact that it happened at all is a strong indication that he needs to relocate his family and himself. Get you and your people as far away from this type of danger and the people who perpetrate it as possible, Ramon Taveras. Florida is an overcrowded mess of a state, and no amount of warm weather or whatever else keeps you here is worth losing your life over. There are great gyms and programs across the country and safer places. Going to one of those places would be exceedingly wise. I've reached out to Ramon directly to see if he'd be willing to shed any additional light on the situation, and will provide a follow-up should he be so inclined. God fucking damn it, another week of serious shit being covered around here. Can I not have a 7-day stretch to go back to the comedy on which this channel was founded? Between this, the Alex Pereira allegations, and Sean Strickland's allegations against Tiki Gazan, I am losing my goddamn mind over here. For yelling about mixed martial arts, this is Thinker St. James, once again having to say, for the love of God, stay safe out there, and in the words of the immortal Jay Dilla, clap on, clap off, never take your motherfucking strap off.
James.